It's an A&B conversation. A&B conversation. A&B conversation. Everyday motivation.
Hey y'all, what's up? We're back in the building. This is the A and B conversation. I am the A. I'm Amber.
I'm the B. I'm Brittany.
So see your way in. Pull up. Today is we're talking about like industry shit.
Like, why would one be in the industry?
What do you mean by industry? What?
Well, there's many different industries, so I guess that's a fair question.
Yeah, that's so. What do you mean? Right?
So you moved to New York for?
So when I moved to New York to be America's next top makeup artist, I moved here because I wanted to be Pat McGrath.
Period.
Honestly, if you're listening here, you probably know who Pat McGrath is.
Yeah.
But hey,
For all
we're
intents and purposes.
honestly here for everyone. So if you don't know who Auntie Pat is, Pat McGrath is like this legendary black woman, British makeup artist who has been setting and making the trends since like the early 90s.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? She got all the supermodels together. She's done every cover. She's now come out with her own line. But before that, she was like the person in charge of the person in charge. She was like the person.
HBIC.
Yeah, I'm like, she was at like Armani and a few other lines that like we know and whatnot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wanted to be her, which is all very editorial, fashion, runway shows. Hence why when I left Chicago, I came to New York instead of LA. Because LA, when you think about it, is all like film and TV.
Yep.
And New York is fashion.
Yeah.
And I was like, ugh, I don't want to work on a TV or film set.
Who wants to do that? Who wants to work 70 hours a week?
Disgusting.
Be a lawyer.
But
But same, I wanted to be in fashion. Like, I thought like that was where it was at. I said this already, but I was in school for interior design. I wanted to be an interior designer. And then at the time when I was in college, I worked at Ralph Lauren Home in the D&D building, which is the decoration and design building. So if you are an architect, designer, whatever, bitch, that's where you go to get your shit. So at that time, I was like, oh my God, $30,000 duvets. Okay. Got it. But
like a comforter.
like a comforter, bitch. Like, yeah. I hope it was like 700,000 thread Egyptian cotton, bitch.
Not recently. I think I bought like an adult duvet
Adult.
last year.
What
shit
does
was
that
like,
mean?
That shit was like $90, and I was like, what? Like, why is it so much? 30,000? What?
Girl, $30,000.
Wow, the wealth.
So, and just like it was like a showroom, so it was like all the things, right? But what I will say is, and I think this might have been a subconscious thing, everywhere you go, when you go to Ralph Lauren in any department, they have the runway show always playing. And I remember thinking like, look at that shit is fly. Like, like these bitches look great. And I'm in the home division, and I'm in a tufted chair, but I am enjoying what I see. So I think that message to me meant that like, and of course knowing that Ralph Lauren is adjacent to $30,000 duvets. And I was like, this means money. Like, fashion means money. Like, Gucci, that means money. You go to...
Plot twist.
Exactly. Like, I'm like, okay, so yeah, I want to be aligned with fashion people because they got the swag and they got the money.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, plot twist.
Long before I even knew what I wanted to do, like, I loved magazines.
Same.
Does that tell our age? I loved magazines because those don't really exist anymore. But I loved magazines and like billboards and stuff like that. I didn't know exactly what I loved about it. But once it came for me to figure out like what I wanted to do in life, I was like, I want to be in magazines. I don't know how.
Totally.
Or what, but I like want to be in magazines.
It's funny, like when I am now reliving that moment in my life, I remember I used to always buy a magazine. And I remember there's this one ad. I think this must have been like the ad that told me I was going to do makeup. But I remember there was like this Max Mara ad, which like the fuck, right?
Again, telling your age.
Very telling my age. And it was like a blush cheek combo with like a bouffant, but it was like giving retro 80s, but like coiffed. And like it was just so good, but it was fire. And I was like, yo, these niggas be doing makeup. Like they be doing makeup in fashion. Like I was like, wow, that was just like so striking to me. It wasn't just like, you know, mall girl makeup. Like it was like, you know, the mall girls, they be putting that powder on. But so yeah, so I was like, oh my God, like Yeah, same. I used to know every fucking thing that was coming out. Like, before.
Same. I knew who Pat McGrath was before I even knew why I knew who Pat McGrath was. That's
Right.
why I was like, I want to be Pat McGrath.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't know exactly
Totally.
like what went into that, right? And then, so that's again like partially why I moved to New York, mainly to be fashion, to like, you know, do the runway shows. I wanted to do Fashion Week, and then once I got into makeup, I was like, ooh, I can't wait to do like Fashion Month, and like you travel, like I want to be on this one's team, and like all this stuff, until I started working as a makeup artist in fashion.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I felt like they treated me like I was the help.
I see now why you are like very strong about saying no, because for some reason the number one thing that I did when I first started is I was like, oh yeah, got me fucked up on these runway shows. Like I was like, I never worked on a team. I think I did like 2 fashion shows, and I was like, oh yeah, nah, this ain't it. And
It's
I
a lot.
immediately was like, no.
I also don't like I don't like fake stress. Not fake stress. Like
Yes.
I don't like chaos for the sake of chaos.
100%.
And I feel like backstage runway shows are chaotic because that is the like culture.
Oh, 100%.
When it's like y'all could fucking chill.
I'm like, are we
Like-
mad because the eyeliner is a little off for 4 seconds? This bitch about to walk down for 4 seconds.
No one's gonna like.
No one
seriously.
cares. Y'all,
no.
no mass Getty images is not catching every fucking detail. I learned that quick. I was like, this is absolutely not me. Like, I'm not doing that. Y'all got me fucked up. Like,
Once I started working with celebrities, even in like an assisting capacity, like assisting an artist who was working with their celebrity client, I realized I was treated better
oh, for sure.
than like a fashion assistant. Thankfully, all the artists I assisted, except for one, there was 2, but most of them were like, come like loving, like, oh, let me show you, like, please. Like they weren't like that.
Yeah, that's
Thankfully.
fair. It's funny. Like, I know that the rite of passage was always supposed to be like assisting and this and that. And I think like, not that I didn't assist people, because I did. Like, I remember I got signed not because of nepotism, but a little bit because of nepotism.
Like
right?
signed to an agent.
Yeah, but it was like, it wasn't what we got now. Like,
Yeah,
it was like, oh, we do like e-com and fucking, you know, which is
Yeah.
fine because that pays the bill. But I remember when I met with this woman, I don't even know if I should say her name, but I don't care.
No.
I met with this woman, and I think she didn't like that there was nepotism involved. But here's the thing about nepotism, right? Is that like, obviously someone put me in the right room, but I'm the one who has to deliver, obviously. But I don't think she for some reason, for me in particular, she wasn't feeling it, right? So she was like, well, we're going to sign you, but like, you know, maybe you could just like assist some of our artists and just like whatever. So I was like, sure. Like, first of all, I'm also not one of them people who like, I'm humble, but I'm also like, yeah, like I'm just like, I love what I do. Fine, I'll come. Yeah, sure, whatever. Whatever you need me to do, I'll do it. I showed up on set, bitch. It was a Macy's e-com. Weren't really showing the bitch's face. It was literally like this. And her kit was nasty. And she is British. And she was like, oh, it's because I'm booked, honey. And I'm like, no, this is nasty. Like, it's dusty, bitch. Like, if you booked, bitch, then buy a new palette. Like, it was like,
Hire an
palette.
assistant to clean your kit.
Because I wasn't that bitch. Like, I was there to do another
Yeah.
model while she was doing another model. So I was like, okay, maybe that was just that experience. Then I assisted someone else. And this girl was like very vegan. Like, it was like, oh, I literally only do natural products. And I'm like, but everything's in plastic, so that's not natural. So like, y'all natural bitches gotta chill. But also, I was like, natural shit comes in limited shades, which is another conversation for another day. But
Yep.
so we had to do a Peloton ad. And I know it's my personality, but I also just ran circles around this bitch. Like, niggas thought I was the fucking
Yeah, the
lead.
key.
And I felt a little bit of a way, because I was like, I know that this guy put me in the room, but like, I'm in the room for a reason. Like, what is it about me that you're not giving me a chance? And these bitches are not, in my opinion, qualified. Like, it was like, you already know how that was. It was like, oh, can you do this girl? And it was like, oh, you want me to do the dark skinned girl?
Yeah, because you don't
ain't
know
got
how.
it. Because you don't got it, and your kid don't got it, and it's for Peloton, and it's a big deal. And Peloton and like a lot of those brands, they use like real trainers.
Right.
So I'm like, so this is a real ass person. Like, you can't like, this is not an industry person that like might even give you a little bit of slack. Like, so I remember just being like, I know that it's interesting because now I don't think that it's as much of a requirement as it used to be to like assist, like especially in fashion. It's like, no, you gotta assist, meet the right people, be in the right circles, be on the right team, da da da. And I feel like I agree with you, but I feel like and it's funny because that is such a fashion thing. And of course, obviously, it's technically an assistant thing when you do work with celebrities and stuff like that. But you are likely to be like, oh, my bitch who's about to be an actress just pulled up. She's lit, and I'm her makeup artist, and that's it. Like on some Lizzo shit. Like,
I think
that's her people. No?
That's a lie.
What do you
it
mean?
Depends.
Yeah, well, of course it depends. Of course.
In LA, the girls have assistants, and they come up in the celebrity track, and they work with celebrities.
Interesting.
I mean, I feel like now artists are in a place where they can choose the path, right? Like
That's true.
Because there's many different ways that as a makeup artist or as a glam person in general, there's many different ways that you can get to your bag.
Fair.
Overall, I do think that assisting is kind of, thanks to Instagram, a lot of people have gotten to the point that they can get to, especially if you do work with influencers or celebrities or something like that. Like, you can just slide in their DMs, right? Like,
True.
Patrick Todd got his start from sliding in the girls' DMs.
So did Ariel.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, I'm lying. Ariel did Lily, and that's how Kylie met. But something like that. But basically, yeah. She slid in his DMs.
I don't know his story. But.
She slid in his DMs. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And he was like, aghast. Like, bitch, what?
Yeah, but like, you can like go around that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when I started doing makeup in 2010, literally, like, that was the way. Whether you wanted to do fashion or celebrities, was like, you assist.
Yep.
And then eventually those people will start handing things off to you, essentially, that they don't want to do, or like that they're too busy to do, or what have you. I know artists who are at our agency who I don't think assisted anyone, but they got 100,000 followers.
100.
And so the girls come to them anyway because, you know, the algorithm, they're there. Like, you see them, you see their work, like all those things. And so they've been able to skip a few steps.
I agree with you because I think, like, obviously the rite of passage is to do that, to assist, to whatever, because that's the best way to learn. Like, it's not like you learning that at school. Like, you gotta learn. You gotta learn.
The thing that I was taught, like, when I was assisting was, this is your chance to fuck up.
Fair.
Because when you get hired and you fuck up, you're not getting called back.
No, 100.
If you fuck up as an assistant, okay, the person you assistant doesn't call you back, but like, that didn't fuck you up with the client.
But you want to know what's interesting? When I think back, other than those agency situations, I didn't assist, but not because I didn't want to. I was like doing the like little like socialite girls in the city, and I remember being like, this is not fun to me because these bitches is going to galas with fucking rhinestones that, like, this is not it. Like, it's not, you got a very
glorified prom makeup.
Yes. And I just, but they had the coin. So I was just kind of like hustling, like, you know, and I remember when I met my friend that plugged me with that first agency, not that he liked the person that he plugged me with, but he was just like, yo, like, whatever. Like, I actually seen your work. Like, I think you're dope, whatever. And I think that the testament really was that I did like it wasn't that I wasn't in the right circles because I was working, but I just couldn't find, like, I always wanted to be on Diane Kendall's team. And I was like, you know what I mean? But I was like, I don't really want to do Fashion Week, but I want to fuck with these people so that I could, because at that time I felt like that's what I had to do.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I wanted to do celebrities at the time. Like, I really thought like.
No, I didn't think I was like, celebrities, ew.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. That sounds
But people always
stressful.
think they made it seem like, oh my God, you deal with celebrities. And I'm like, they're actually way nicer than anybody.
I mean, the
I've dealt
reality
with.
is that a celebrity is a fucking person.
That's the thing.
And most people don't
Literally,
realize
they're
that.
a person. Whereas a model, not that they're not a person, but they're a person with like the genetic lottery.
They're a person, but on set, they're whoever they need to be for that job. A celebrity
True.
is themselves always. Like,
Right.
that is a
That's
part
their
of who I
personality.
am.
Right,
It's a part of like why you keep calling me or like
Right.
whatever. That's a part of why y'all taking these pictures of me.
100%. But I think as a result of that is a very specific, if any, insecurity because y'all watching me. Whereas like a model's like, I'm just a mannequin. So y'all do whatever y'all gotta do. I'm just here. It's fine. I fit the clothes. I got the cheekbones. It's fine. Whereas a celebrity, you can kind of relate to them on a human level where I think we think that they're not human, but we're like, no, we're relating to them on a human level because if a bitch just had a baby, but she's still Jennifer Lopez, like she's a person. Like we could talk to her, like, you know what I mean? Like we're having like a real life experience. Cause like, I think that was something that I learned about celebrities. I just felt like models care less because like you said, they're not a brand. Like they're not walking. Well, now I guess some of them are, but like they are, but now like, okay, Gigi. Like they are, you're right, because Naomi's a brand. But the theory, the point is this. We're showing that Polo has money by booking Naomi. Naomi's personality is not in Polo.
Right.
Whereas, like, if you're booking Lizzo for the cover of Vogue, like, we're doing this because Lizzo's fire.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah, like, Lizzo's, like she wearing her own shit. She bringing her own team.
No.
More or less. Okay, maybe that's a bad example.
Not for a magazine, no.
Maybe. She bringing her makeup artist.
Well, yeah, Alex is definitely pulling up, but most people are definitely not. Like,
okay, what I'm trying
think
to
about
say
how
is
many editorials where you looking at the credits and you like, now wait a minute, this person only works with this person, but this random bitch did her makeup.
Fair.
You know how many clients I've had
But
where
I'm
like
saying that-
I've got a
but
14 page spread in GQ tomorrow, and I'm like, I'm not working tomorrow.
Right.
And they're
No,
like,
no,
oh
true.
no, it's fine.
That's true. No,
GQ got it.
Fair. No. Okay, my bad. What I mean to say is that, okay, so isolated from that, that's true. That is accurate. Definitely, that's accurate.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
What I mean is I was able to connect with celebrities differently because I felt like a model is expected to be presented as a bad bitch. Victoria's Secret, for example, is like, you are that bitch if you are a Victoria's Secret model, because Victoria's Secret models mean you look good, you got a good shape, whatever.
For what you're saying, I feel like you look at models the way most people look at celebrities.
No, I'm saying I think that the industry,
Models are people too.
No, of course. But okay, put it this way: they have body dysmorphia, all this other shit. I agree with that. I'm saying that in comparison, though, when your personality has to be a part of, like, okay, imagine you meet a comedian and you just like, I nigga say something funny. It's like, nigga, I'm a person. I'm not just.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I was able to connect with celebrities because I agree with you. You're right. Actually, you're right. I'm speaking on an isolated
You
issue.
were just able to connect with celebrities more because you're like famous in your own life, in your head.
Because I'm main character, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Because you're Leo, and you were like, "Oh my God, I get it. We
God.
relate.
I'm
Finally,
same.
someone who gets it."
Bitch, we got the same shoes on. My point is that because of the very mindless criteria that it takes to be a model, right? You have to fit a certain size and whatever. You're literally paid to be a mannequin. You're just paid to be here to fit the clothes and stand there and we'll do whatever makeup and you have no say so and that's it. Like, you're literally a subject in the scene. Whereas, like, if I'm calling Serena Williams, it's because this spread is about Serena Williams.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, but as a result of that, I feel like there is more pressure that I think I took for granted. Like, I always assumed that every celebrity wanted to be a celebrity, right? And I think, like, let's think about, like, Summer Walker, for example, where it's like, she has stage fright. It's like, you just assume because you're an excellent singer and you're a songwriter and you have this presence that you're just natural at performing in front of millions of people. But there's other levels to it. So I feel like there was ways that I could connect. Like, I feel like people were being human with me. Whereas, like, a model's like, on my phone, do what you have to do, it's fine. And I would just be like,
You ain't ever worked with a celebrity that was like that? Because I
not
have.
really.
I absolutely have.
I feel like the only people that were like that were like my celebrity models. And I was like, I heard you, bitch.
Nope. I've
Cut the
worked
check.
with people that are like, get on camera and they're like, everything you think they're supposed to be in a celebrity, but behind the scenes they're like, anyway, so are you done?
No. Maybe I haven't been blessed to work with the A-list. She's all, have you worked with Kim Kardashian or no? 'Cause,
Relax.
bitch.
I have not worked with Kim Kardashian. Relax. Watch your mouth. I feel like the New York in you, how long you were in fashion, has you looking at models
Yeah.
a different way.
Yeah. That's true. That could be true because I feel like I remember, like, I would work with these models for press. So I was like able to see them in a different, like, I wasn't working with them.
Also, I feel like you worked in fashion long enough to have worked with yet like celebrity models, which is different than like a bitch off of Model Mayhem. I feel like the caliber of models you worked with maybe has you skewed, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I jumped out of fashion at a low enough point in my career where I didn't like touch I did work with Naomi Campbell. I didn't do her makeup, but I did work with her. But like, I don't feel like I touched, like, I wasn't working with Bella Hadid or like, I wasn't working with this level of model, right? But those girls are celebrities. They're no different than Kim Kardashian or whomever the fuck. Like
But
they're on
I
the
still
same
feel
level.
I feel like, but that's what I'm saying. I agree with you. I do agree with you. I think it is a little skewed, and I think that. But I think ultimately what I'm saying is that if those girls chose not to have a personality, they're still gonna get booked because of the genetic lottery that they have.
I think a few celebrity models may have traumatized you.
No, I just think that like I think they connected with me on a human level, but I think they were also very aware that like I have this job because I'm tall and skinny.
But also, like, modeling is way more than that.
Of course it is. I'm just saying that at the base of it, the basic principles are
You're traumatized. Just say that.
I just feel like I was able to like if a celebrity was about to do something, they would be more like they'd be realistic with me about like I'm kind of nervous or I might do this, and the model's just kind of like, fuck this job, like I'm here with you, just like I'm about to just put these clothes on and pose. And but you're right, because
I don't know.
I did deal with them in a press capacity, so you know it doesn't matter.
I was also the person on set, like when I worked in fashion and shit. Like I was the person on set that would be like, girl, like you need to eat, like you want water, like
you know I was that girl.
You know what I'm saying, like things like that. So I mean, I get what you're saying. In fashion, you can be on set for a campaign and Naomi is the star, right? But the people on set are not as accommodating to you as the makeup artist because they're like, fuck out of here. Like, we're here for this campaign.
Right.
And I mean, Naomi Campbell is Naomi Campbell.
Exactly, right,
so we're here for Naomi, but we don't give a shit about you.
Right.
Whereas if you pull up with a celebrity, they are on that celebrity's dick so hard. Anyone who is associated, so, you know, the glam team, the publicist, all those people, they're going to be on all of our dicks too.
That's fair. That's more, I think, where I was
like because as a relationship, you are a reflection of that person.
Right. I just feel like there was a more human connection for some reason.
I don't know. I've definitely been around some weird ass celebrities. So. And on the same token, I've also been on a fashion shoot where it's like me and the model, like we kikiing, like we're chilling, like she's really comfortable with me or like whatever like that, and yeah, she just has to get on set. And she has less pressure because she just has to get on set and be a blank canvas. Right. Where the celebrity has to get on set
and be them.
But let's call a thing. Not all celebrities, them in the public is them in the private.
No, that's what I mean. I agree.
So they still have to get there and put on and like do the things and like.
No, that's my point. My point is like they're more. I can connect with them in that way that like, now I gotta go on set and be Chris Rock, or I gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like they gotta.
You know, I done been on sets with some that are not like, now I gotta be like, no. It's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. They're like, fuck out of here. Like, let's do this shit. We finna do this. Like, I don't give a fuck about you or none of you bitches in here. Y'all here for me. Where's my water, bitch? Where's my lotion? Like, fuck out of here. Next, are we done?
Really?
Absolutely. Yeah, girl, you lucky. Yes, I have. Absolutely. What? The first celebrity I ever worked with was a nasty bitch. I'm not even going to say who the fuck it was because she's not relevant anymore. But she was nasty.
She's a nasty bitch.
And she fucking tried me from the moment I got in there. She wiped all the fucking makeup off.
No.
After she told me what she wanted, I gave her exactly what she asked for. She wiped that shit off and called this other old washed up ass nigga that does not do makeup no more. And he gave her exactly what she said she didn't want. And she was just nasty to me from the moment I came in. Like, she looked at me. She was darker than me, and she looked at me and was like, "Do you know how to do my makeup?" Oh. And I was like, I thought I was black, but
you're like, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Summer. I got my summer color. I'm a little extra tan right now. Fuck out of here.
I look like Blossom right now, so you already know they be checking me. They be like, do you want me to put my color out? I'll be like, no.
Girl,
you good, ma?
I've definitely been on a set, and a bitch will be like, I brought my foundation. I'm like, yeah, I brought 82.
Right. You're foundation. Like, bitch, my back hurt because I got all the motherfucking
Girl, put that little dusty ass Mac back in your bag.
Okay, that ain't your color also, by the way.
Also, that's your winter color. That is the difference between the celebrity and the fashion industry.
What? I think it's the entitlement. I agree with you, too, because it's like, I happen to have been lucky, but clearly that is the stigma, right? That like, oh, you work with celebrities, are they nice? I think that for me, I think I was relating to your original point where it's like, they are people, and the reason why it's clear that they're people is because they come in every fucking possible, this hair, this color, this size, this personality, this, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like Whereas a model, I feel like obviously they are different too, but like if you line them all up, there's one thing they have in common.
Not in 2022.
I'm talking about 2010, bitch. 2010.
The girls are diverse now.
The girls are diverse.
Diverse and inclusion.
They're not Victoria's Secret who canceled. You feel me?
Yeah.
But no, I that sucks, bro.
For them, not me.
No, obviously, because you lit.
Still got paid.
She's yeah, that'd be the thing. That'd be the thing. That's
yeah.
like
So I started in fashion. I wanted to be Pat McGrath. We both wanted to be Pat McGrath, clearly. Or you wanted to be Diane Kendall.
I don't know. I wanted to be Pat McGrath. I just didn't think I was.
I wanted to be Pat McGrath. And eventually I started working with celebrities here and there. Even like as far as like assisting and like shit like that, I started working with more celebrities, and I just realized even as an assistant, I could see that like whoever I was assisting was treated better.
But let me ask you, because if your first celebrity client was an asshole,
yeah,
like what was the inspiration to transition out? Like though they were an asshole, were you?
This was like very early. Like it was at the time I was doing both. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it was like.
Gotcha.
It was not even a year after makeup school, so like it was whatever. Whoever's calling, I'm like, yeah, let's do that shit. Like, yeah,
right.
Absolutely. Like, it wasn't even a paid shoot. That's the shit. It was a free shoot, and she was nasty. I should have packed my shit up. I wish I could go back to that time right now. I'll knock all that shit off the table, pack my shit up, and go home, bro.
Yo, when I used to work at Mac, obviously because we all started in retail, I remember when like a bitch would complain about a makeup, and there was this one guy like straight from Puerto Rico. He'd be like, "This is when I take the wipe and wipe the face." I used to be like, say that shit. Anytime a bitch would complain, he'd be like, "Oh, you don't like it? Lacing." That's what they do. Go do that shit yourself, bitch. Buy all my shit.
There was a Dominican man.
Don't me.
When I started. I don't speak Mac. I did not start at Mac. I started at Estee Lauder. I'm classy. He was one of the top sellers, and he could say the wildest things to women.
Bitch.
Like, he would tell his one selling point. We had like whatever the fuck the night cream was. That was like the number one seller. He would tell these women like, "Oh no, this cream is for young, fresh skin. This cream is for your tough." Like, he would literally be like, "Tough, your skin tough. This cream smooth you out. You smooth. And I would be like, I wish I could tell a bitch, your skin is tough.
Well, there's definitely
like concrete while punching my hand. I wouldn't say no.
Like, that's dope. You started at Estee Lauder though. I feel like all the girls started at Mac, but then
they did.
But
they wouldn't hire me.
But the girls that didn't start at Mac are definitely better than all of us. They're like, I started at NARS.
I did get started at Mac. No, I did get hired at Mac.
Okay.
And Harry
Bendel's bitch.
And yes.
Oof.
What, is it Harry Bendel?
Henry Bendel.
Henry. I'm like, that wasn't Harry, right?
That's okay.
Henry Bendel. Yes, it was right before it closed though. I got hired as a freelancer, and I was like, yes, can't wait to get my woo-hoo. Like, this is about to be great. I'm about to be like mega one step closer to Pat McGrath. And then like the news broke that they were closing their doors, and then like I got the call shortly after, like, yeah, so the counter is closing. We need to figure out where we could place you. Like, I'll get back to you. And nobody ever got back to me. So that's fine. It was a blessing in disguise. It's fine. I chilled at Estee Lauder as a freelancer, walking around, fake passing out flyers.
It's okay. Henry Bendel's was terrible. I remember I had a job there for one day. Yo, I was selling. Ready for this? I was selling skincare that had breast milk.
You were on your goop shit before goop.
I was on my goop shit. It was fucking, I don't know if it was called colostrum, but it was basically like, this is what we're selling, guys. We're selling fuck. Obviously, this pre-mom Britney. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not putting that shit on my face. For the record, this is why I ended up working at Mac after this, because I was like, oh, I just realized I'm not a salesman, y'all. Like, y'all gonna get this shit and that's it. And if you're not gonna get it, I also don't care. And at Henry Bendel's, again, I only worked there one day, so I don't know the climate of the industry there, how it worked. There was this girl that worked there, and bitch, when I say she was running circles around me, she was like putting all that shit on people's face and like, oh yeah,
the breast milk cream?
$700 sale, $1,000 sale, $500. Yes, breast milk. She's putting breast milk on niggas' faces without a bottle. Yes, $100 sale.
Wait.
No, it didn't come in a bottle. No nipples.
I was like, it's just a squirt of breast milk up people. Okay.
And I was like, bitch, you get these people to buy this shit? People are you buying breast milk, guys? Like, I was like, I remember being like watching this woman in amazement. And I was like, she is selling $200 breast milk, my girl. And I remember thinking, yeah, it's not for me. And I remember the Parisian lady called me like the next day. And she's like, so, that's how she talked, by the way. Allegedly, she's from Paris. Obviously, she wasn't. So, how was your first day? And I was like, yeah, no. I was like, babe, I sold like nothing. I literally sold $0. And I was like, and then you make commission on top of the hourly there. I'm like, bitch, how much money you make? $500,000 a year? Like, you make more than niggas at Cartier next door. Like, why are you selling breast milk so well? What's
Breast milk. I'm still over. I can't. Retail is a wild place.
It is a wild place. But I did work at Mac. And I refused. I was like so non-committal. I was like, I'm a freelancer forever. And I just like
I was
worked
a freelancer.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna be fucked up. You think I'm about to work here for 12 hours for $10 an hour? Like, it was like something crazy.
I was a freelancer because I was getting paid like $20 an hour.
Me too. And then you
2011.
Yes, me too. And I'm like, and I could work 50 hours a week if I wanted to.
Yeah, like you got to pick and choose like which store you wanted to go to. I always knew in my life that like I didn't want to go to the same place every day for work.
Same. I was like, I don't want to see the same people.
Especially after like being a freelancer, like or whatever. And I would like be able to go to like this counter and then I could like go there. Like I would peep the beef that they would have within the counter.
Definitely
like
mass smoke at the counter.
Yeah, the counter beef, and I would be like, no parts. Like I wanted no parts of that. And apparently I love inconsistency. So yeah, that was my retail. Oh, I did after Estee Lauder, which shouts out to them.
They cut the check.
They cut the check.
When
You know what I'm saying?
They
They
love that.
honestly, once I went full freelance, like a freelance artist, I only work on sets and things like that. I was really missing Estee Lauder.
Oh, for sure. That
Okay.
first leap of faith after
Those
retail
checks
is like,
were okay.
And the gratis?
And the gratis, what? Kept my
Honestly,
mom's
got me
and my
fucked up,
sisters
same.
dripped in cream.
Period.
Okay, like what?
Period.
Skin was spectacular.
Period.
Like
Colostrum, bitch.
it was
Breast
great.
milk.
People are like, "How's your skin?" I'm like, "I've had a skincare routine since I was 16. Don't worry about it."
I think that's why I became an esthetician. I remember like when I first, like also simultaneously when I worked at Ralph Lauren, I was like, skin was breaking out kind of bad. And bitch, I was down a rabbit hole. I was like, we gonna figure this shit out because this has got to be like math. It's got to be like math. It's got to be an easy way to figure out why my skin is fucked up. Like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
And I remember I just was like so crazy, like trying to find everything. And then I realized like whatever, like I said, the puzzle, the Tetris of the skin, and the hormones and all that shit. Some things when I realized what I couldn't control and I realized what I could control, I figured it all out. And I remember thinking like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
But I only liked makeup because I was so obsessed with my fucked up skin at the time.
I'm thankful for Estee Lauder too because they taught me, they further ingrained in me like what I learned in makeup school, which was skincare is the most important step anyway.
Totally.
Like you can have all the makeup in the world, but if you put on some
course.
trash skincare, that shit is probably gonna look weird.
Nuts.
Or you can put on some trash ass makeup, and if you got some good skincare, it still might come out
True. Very true.
cute.
Great point.
A-okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
All
That's
right,
fair.
at the very least.
Yeah.
So yeah, so there's retail. Everybody likes to start in retail, even if you don't assist. Like you probably started in retail, right?
Oh,
like
100%.
assisting is still good. I still believe that people should assist because that'll stop a lot of, well, one, people looking foolish, but two, like jobs where like you might hire somebody and they don't know what to do. Like there's tons of things that I have learned and ways that I've learned how to put out fires on set.
Yeah.
Because I was watching someone else.
And I agree with that. And I do agree that people need to assist. I think that it's interesting though because you happen to have a personality where like where not to be taken advantage of. I have a friend, like for example, that has been like an assistant for like a million years. And like it's almost like her personality because now you're so good at being an assistant, like kit fly, like you're also really talented, but you for some reason don't have that personality to like take yourself to the next step.
Yeah. I always knew that assisting was a stepping stone.
Fair.
And I think some people just, like if you just happen to fall into makeup
Yeah.
and you're not thinking about it as far as like a career or business or whatever like that, then you're going to go with whatever.
Fair.
I have just finished 5 years of college. It took me 5 years, mind your business. But I had just finished college. You feel me? So I was like an adult. You know what I'm saying? I had been on my own. Like I was like, okay, Now, like, what do I do now? Like, this is work. Like, I didn't
Yeah.
go in. It's not like they caught me at 19 or 20 and I became an assistant and now I've kind of been like stuck in this place. I went
Yeah.
into this knowing that per my makeup school,
Yeah.
you assist.
Yeah.
And then as you assist, you get better. And if you're lucky, the person that you're assisting will then start handing you jobs.
Yeah.
And then you'll start doing your own thing. So
Yeah.
I always looked at that as a stepping stone. So
Okay.
nobody was ever going to pigeonhole me into being their assistant.
Totally.
Because I was always going into this like, girl, I'm just here to like get the experience or whatever. And I'm up out of here.
You're like, girl, I just got notes, bitch.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm here for the credits and the experience. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not here, in the like look in your kit and like get some more techniques and shit.
Right.
I'm here to steal from you.
Fair. I think that another thing, another reason why it's hard to assist is that like makeup artists that are in positions to have assistants are also not always nice. Just like a celebrity's not always nice. And I think like that always becomes an interesting place to be in because you need this and this person is this person and like you revere them and you want to get to that place. And then it sucks because like you kind of have to, you know what I mean? Like it's like having a shitty boss, obviously. Like, and I feel like sometimes some makeup artists get a little ahead of themselves. Like I feel like I know a few people that were like, nah, don't work for that bitch. She ain't, or that guy or whatever. And I always thought that was like kind of that's always a weird place to be in, right? Because I just feel like that's the goal, right? Like you want to assist somebody that you love their work, you respect them, and they're fucking assholes, and then you're like.
But that was also, I think, the culture.
Very true.
Before us.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was like the culture and like the respect or like the what have you.
Yep.
In the shit, right? And now we're at a place where I feel like even with the diversity inclusion, I feel like we're at a place where it's like, hey, like don't be mean to your assistant.
Yeah.
Like that's not cool for you to just be mean to people just because you're the person in power.
Period.
Or just to assert that you're the person in power. Yeah, essentially, assisting is still a thing. It's still good. It's still a good place to figure out like trial and error in whatever part of the industry that you're in, right? Like it's good to figure it out on somebody else's time. It's on the clock paid training.
No, that's 100% true.
Essentially. And yeah, in 2022, if you assist someone that's a monster, don't. You don't have to.
Right. Yeah,
you got cool ass
2022
bitches
don't.
like us that are like
Avid.
out here running the show. Like we're the heads of things, and like I have assistants. My assistants
love me, by the way.
I was like, they feel blessed when I call them.
Same.
Honestly, because usually they're not doing anything.
Damn, mine be busy. Don't do that.
Oh no, mine are usually like not doing much, just because I don't work with assistants often.
Okay, gotcha.
So I'm used to doing everything on my own. So like when I have an assistant, like. They're dead ass standing there like, and I'm like, what, girl? Get from behind me.
You
Move.
know what?
Like, mind your business.
Yes. No,
Go do something. I don't know. Like,
right. Bitch, go
I
have a
like
smoke
an
break.
assistant that's, well, relax. Don't fucking do that. But I like an assistant that, like, can read my mind.
Okay.
I like a, like, telepathic assistant.
Okay.
Shouts out to Meeks, my assistant. He gets it. Like, I
yeah.
mean, the first few times he was just standing there like,
Yeah.
what do you want? Because he went through a phase where he would hold a tray. But he would like, what do you want me to?
Yeah.
But now he gets it. Like, I don't know. Like, even like, I'll turn around and I'm like, are you the butler from Mr. Deeds? Like, what are you doing behind me with this Q-tip? But like, how did you? All right, thank you. Like, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I like a self-starter.
That's a great.
I like my assistants to be people who are not trying to be assistants for forever.
Same.
Because those people are self-starters and they're going to be like, oh, don't overstep your fucking boundaries, but they're going to know like, oh, like here.
Yeah.
I don't want someone where like every 2 seconds I'm having to tell you, hi, could you do this? Hi, could you do like
it's like a residency, right?
What are you doing here? You're not assisting me at that point.
Yeah.
I'm watching you. I'm babysitting you.
Right. I feel like and this is my number one gift and curse, is that like I am way too comfortable with people. And like I like baby my assistants. I really am. I'm guilty. I pay motherfuckers like before I get paid.
Absolutely not.
No, because I just feel like
I mean, if the rate is low.
I'm about to say, if I'm waiting for this big old rate, like I got some nerve to like have you wait all this time for.
If I'm waiting for a big rate, you're probably waiting for a big rate as an assistant. So I don't.
Nah,
I'm
but
not.
sometimes, but in my mind, I'm
Well,
saying
I-
in comparison. In comparison.
I
in
also, Jose's always like, here she goes. I'll be like, what's the system budget? Which is usually no more than $250, $350. And I'm like,
Exactly.
this is stupid. Your rate's $500. And Jose will be like, Amber.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? It's fine. Like, it's okay. I did have people that might like pay me immediately. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
might cash at me on the spot or something like that as an assistant. But also I assisted people where I would be waiting 90 days for $150.
No, I feel
and
you.
I would never want someone to have to do that. Like that
No,
is
same.
fucked up. But
Who
my
am
boy,
I?
if I'm waiting for 10K and you're waiting for like 1,500, wait on it.
No,
I'm not just giving you 1,500 of my dollars. The fuck out of here.
I'll give it.
No.
I'd almost rather be broke and then just get.
Assist Brittany. So I'm not
Yo,
doing that.
I really, cause like, you know what it is? I just feel like that's how.
And
you
don't
break-
ask for your money too soon.
Well, that's the thing.
Don't ask for your money too soon.
Nobody's ever
Don't
asked
be
me.
coming. Oh, I've had girls.
volunteered.
No, I've had people be like, "Hey, it's been 30 days," and I'm like, "Okay, what's
You're
the
like,
point?"
Same. Actually, it's been 30
Yeah, I'm like, "You're right. It has. I have not been paid yet. So why are you emailing me?"
Yeah. I feel like that's how you break curses, though, right? Like, I feel like it's not really a curse that I can break
It's not.
because it's an industry thing. But
I'm
like,
like, because we're waiting on our money.
no, we are waiting on our money. But I feel like
She's in a 2-income household. I'm not. So assist Brittany. That's what it is.
Rob will be like, Amber, that bitch is not taking that money out of my account. Rob will comment below, like, just don't get it fucked up. It ain't coming from my side of the bank account.
No.
No, I feel like my sister thing, it's funny actually, because same, I feel like I'm so conditioned to doing everything myself that I'm a good educator, but I'm not good with like people like doing shit for me. Like I'm like weird about it. Like I try not to be. I swear to God, like I'll be like, all right, these people are here to help you, make life a little easier. And I'll be like, do you want water? I'll be like, let me go get you some water. Do you? No, let me pick my own 70-pound kid up. Don't worry, you go take a break. Like I am like so annoying.
I'll be like, did you eat? Go eat. You know what I'm saying?
No,
It's
I
like,
feel
oh,
like-
we're working through lunch. And I'm like, well, I'm clearly doing this person's face. It's none of your business. Go eat. Like, just don't stand here looking at me.
No.
Go
fair.
do something.
I do like a self-starter, don't get me wrong. But like the assistants that I have now, or that I use, like I feel like I became friends with them and like I kind of, like I think I am conditioned, and this is the fashion world, this is where it's traumatizing for me, is that I'm conditioned to thinking that your assistant is not your equal.
They're not. They are in a person level, but
Yeah,
on
yeah.
a
Well, no,
responsibility work level,
they're
they're not.
obviously. Like, bitch, I'm getting the credit.
I'm
but
getting the big bucks, bro.
You know what it is? I think that for makeup in particular, it's hard to be an assistant unless you're literally assisting me. Like you're literally bringing me Q-tips, you're literally carrying my kit, you're literally giving me a water. Like that's assisting me. Whereas other people have taken advantage and like someone else is doing the makeup and you're just putting a lipstick on and you're like, makeup.
Oh, I've definitely been there. I've definitely
and
ghost written some things.
Oh, for sure. And I feel like that is where I'm also trying to like, I'd rather teach you some shit that you wouldn't otherwise have this access to than you literally doing the makeup and then I'm getting the credit for it. Because I feel like with hair, you can make a hairpiece and have someone install it. That's assisting them. Or clothes, you can pull the clothes and have someone just be there pinning them, dressing them. Makeup, you have to do the makeup. Like there's no cutting the corner there.
You absolutely, yeah.
So I feel like I'm always traumatized in that world because that is kind of the world.
We
of
should
any
talk about
assistant.
assistants one day. We'll have
Put
to
a pin
talk
in that.
about. We'll put a pin on that.
But anyway, so the industry.
Right.
Let's wrap this up.
Like,
Let's put a bow on this bitch and send it out.
But yeah, so in the world of beauty, in the world of makeup and all that jazz, in the world of glam, period, right?
Yeah.
Like there's just like so many different avenues you can go. There's bridal, right? So if you want to do the bridal girls, we've got the TV and film. Like if you want to do the union, you gotta do all the rules to get in the union. It's like a gang. I'm not
5K.
into it. Yeah, you gotta pay. It's really political. Also,
you do get benefits and a pension though.
yep, but it's
If you're not
also
responsible.
it's really political.
Very.
Really political.
And union is also Broadway.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I do know it's harder for black and brown people to get in the union. I don't know if that's
100%.
changed.
No, it hasn't.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. It's a little racist. And yeah,
Basically, if you want to get paid, you got to do what we do.
you got to do celebrities. There's no way to like cut
Because
it.
guess what? During the pandemic, guess who had money?
So why do you? I didn't work for 2 months in the pandemic
Because this bitch was.
because I worked with celebrities and they were like, anyway, we're back at work.
Yeah.
Like what?
They're like,
You
"Hi."
thought you were getting that little EDD,
I'm
my girl.
impressed, yeah.
You're coming to work. Pack
Yes.
your shit up.
Yeah. Put your mask
This is
on.
your call time.
Get a COVID test.
Shouts out to Jose. He got the rate up in the panty. I'll love you forever for that. But yeah, if you want to make some money, like that's where that's at. Like honestly, and sometimes like depending on what way you work with celebrities, if you're signed or if you're like an independent person, you low key can get paid really fast.
Really fast. And also like if you happen to have a little personality, a little style, like I feel like that's when you're already attached to someone's brand and it's easier for someone to recognize you. Whereas like you just do fashion, you're just amongst the credits. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're just like copy and paste. Like you're just
Yeah.
like one-on-one. They're not like, oh, like let me get her. Like they don't even know your name.
No, it's not like, ooh, I like this person's makeup. This person is responsible for that look. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Yeah.
When you work with celebrities, you also have to keep in mind that, like, to go back to what we were saying earlier, they're people. I think they're all people, but Brittany only thinks celebrities are people. And so with them, like, you have to keep in mind that, like, moods and things like that, like,
True.
sometimes they come in sensitive. Sometimes they come in extra turn, like, and you have to adjust yourself
True.
to that.
Fair.
Essentially. And I find that one of the ways that I was able to like how I know how to handle myself in those kind of rooms was my experience in fashion.
Yeah.
Well, I used to get in trouble as a child for being nonchalant, so it probably has to do with that, but I
you
can
sound
block
like
some
Rob.
shit out
Yeah.
so easily. You know, like I've been in cars and real close proximities hearing all type of shit I know I shouldn't be hearing. But I can't recant it for you because I'm just like, I don't care. Like,
Yeah,
it has
fair.
nothing to do. I don't run shade room. Like, I don't care. And they'll be like, oh, Amber, you didn't hear that. And I'm like, I literally didn't.
Yeah, you're like, I don't care.
What do y'all talk?
Yeah.
Why do y'all think I
You're
care?
like, my kid is packed.
I'm like, are y'all dropping me off at home or do I have to take a Uber? Like, how am I getting home? What am I going to eat when I leave here? You know,
Right.
I can't believe they didn't feed me today.
Right.
When you work with celebrities, they usually always feed you.
Always feed you.
Long story short, we're not the help. We're here to help you.
Period.
Don't get it fucked up.
Yeah. Because you know why?
Because you're going to look crazy.
Well, but you could wash your own fucking dishes, bitch. You could vacuum your own house. You are physically capable of those things. You can't do what we do. That's
Pretty
why
much.
we are not the help.
Otherwise, you'd be like Zendaya, who does her own makeup from time to time. You know what I'm
Literally.
saying? Like, otherwise, you'd be
Yep.
one of those stars. You be Doja. Doja can be the face. Like, she gets it going. That's it. This
All right,
is
guys.
me. I'm A. I'm Amber.
I'm B. I'm Brittany.
Okay, y'all can see y'all way up out of here now.
It's a A&B conversation.